Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Once again, my name is Brandon. I'm an acting coach and I make YouTube videos reacting to music, performances, series, pilots, and films, hopefully of things that you really want to see. Hopefully, I'm able to give you something of value, something of worth, or that at the very least will help you see and appreciate your favorite pieces, whether it's music or film or whatever, from a different perspective, and hopefully be able to appreciate it just that much more. I thank you so much for being here. Today, I'm looking at Angelica Hale singing Looking Up. David sent this one to me. He jumped the line for this one, as he does so often. Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know, you can jump the line and get something you want reacted to within potentially as few as 3 to 5 days. If you look in the description, you can see different ways to do that. Just shoot me an email. Let me know what you want me to react to. Today, again, we are looking at Angelica Hale. David says about this in his email. He says, Angelica was 13 years old when she performed this rendition of her original song, Looking Up, on October 11th, 2020. Angelica says, on October 11th, 2020, I was featured during World Woman Hour along with 59 other inspiring women around the world. I'm so honored, says Angelica, to be included with such amazing women. Their stories truly empowering, and I'm so beyond grateful that I got to record and release Looking Up. All of us are given a voice, and it's up to us to use it. I'm forever grateful that I have the opportunity to use my voice to inspire others. Of course, that is from 13-year-old Angelica. So without further ado, we're going to get right into this one. I'm really excited because it's an original. I love when I get to see an original from her.
I am Angelica Hale. When I was little, I would sing everywhere. But when I was 4 years old, I got sick with pneumonia, kidney failure, and was put on life support and spent 80 days in the hospital. My dad says when I was coming out of my coma, I would move my hands and feet to the music he would play for me. Music is life. I received a kidney from my mom. She saved my life, so she's my hero. It's no wonder I chose the song Rise Up to audition for America's Got Talent in 2017. I may have been runner-up, but it was the ride of a lifetime, and it kickstarted my music career. I now have almost 1 million followers on Instagram and got over 296 million views for my performance of Girl on Fire. From all this, I've learned that if you can think it, you can do it. She's looking up to. And if I'm your hero, it's because you believe you are never too young to start following your dream.
Such a light from the inside of that little girl.
I'm just a girl, you may think I'm at a disadvantage. Going out into the world, but I think I'm gonna take my chances. Cause no one ever change a thing by being too afraid of a dream. So if I'm ever feeling down, I know that it's part of the journey. I look up to the stars in the sky. I look up and I feel so inspired to push every limit like all of the women before me. I look up in the face of my fears, won't give up till they know I was here. Won't stand in the shadows, cause she fought the battle before me. She's looking up to.
Okay, so in case you can't tell, I pretty much already decided that I'm just going to enjoy this one, just sort of listen to it. It's obviously an inspirational message. It was written for this purpose, for this convention, this meeting, whatever this thing was, the World Woman Hour 2020, to celebrate what I'm gathering are remarkable women around the world. So I'm just going to kind of sit back and enjoy it. Angelica, again, obviously the vocals are beautiful, big notes, the sincerity is there. She's certainly communicating the message well. She's got a connection she's experiencing and sharing that connection that she has to the lyrics, meaning what she says. And she's, again, also doing something that is becoming expected from her almost, and that is doing a wonderful job of playing with or utilizing various dynamics in her voice, different textures to express the sort of changes and the journey that we're being taken on. And there are things I could say, there are critiques I could make, and there are other comments I can make about the performance, but it kind of just feels like this was just supposed to be heard, you know? So for this one, I might say a few things at the end, but during the performance, I think I'm just going to, from here on out at least, just listen. Just experience it. There's so much joy and so much light that comes through Angelica's voice when she's singing an inspirational, hopeful message. And so I'm just gonna be happy to sort of live in that for the next minute and a half. Okay.
And she's looking up to. Use the magic of your voice and tell them what you stand for. 'Cause we don't change the world when we whisper, we change it when we roar.
Lovely choice.
Time to see that all you've gotta do is believe. There are highs and there are lows, but the power's in finding the beauty. Oh yeah. I look up to the stars in the sky. I look up and I feel so inspired to push every limit like all of the women before me. Oh, I look up in the face of my fears, won't give up till they know I was here. Won't stand in the shadows, 'cause she fought the battles before me. And she's looking up, I am her and she is me. The ladder keeps on going. Oh, then one day you become the hero that keeps it going. I look up to the stars in the sky. I look up and I feel so inspired to push every limit like all of the women before me. Oh, I look up in the face of my fears, won't give up till they know I was here. Won't stand in the shadows, 'cause she fought the battles before me. She's looking up too.
Yeah, was that Fuzia? I want to check that. Oh, was that? I don't. Maybe it wasn't. It'd be kind of weird if it was, but is that Fuzia? No, maybe. I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell. She looks similar if it wasn't her. That was beautiful. Yeah, it was her. It was her. That image I remember. So that was Angelica Hale singing "Looking Up" back in 2020. Beautiful, beautiful performance. Great song. I enjoyed it. I think one of the things that I can say, if you're looking for a critique at all, is that going through several of her performances, I'm starting to notice a couple of things that are feeling a little bit more like habit than performance. And what's interesting about that is that they do appear to be incredibly sincere, and they're a part of her performance that I really enjoy, but they're starting to feel like it's becoming her default position almost regardless of the song. So that might be something that I would keep an eye out for. Maybe if I were working with Angelica, something that I might do is there are some exercises that you can do. Okay, so for instance, I'm just going to give you a quick little for instance, and then we'll sign out here. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. You don't have to stick around for this next bit if you don't want. This is the kind of stuff I usually save for just the Patreon. But just quickly, like if I were working with Angelica myself and I were saying, okay, that Angelica has hired me to come and sort of like offer any insight or tips that I can that might elevate her performance from that perspective, not vocally, just physically and connecting with the lyrics, those kinds of things. I would look at a string of her more recent performances, and if I were seeing what I'm seeing, I would have her go through a couple of songs, maybe even just reading some pieces of literature or prose or poetry or lyrics even, but or singing, doesn't matter. But I would have her go through a few pieces that have a distinct emotional journey. And in this case, I would make sure that emotional journey was wrought with a little bit of grief or sorrow. And I would make certain demands early on. Like I would give you certain beats. Like for this stanza, for the beginning of this song, I want you to focus on this aspect of it. And I would try to guide her toward perspectives of the pieces that didn't begin in the grief that is obvious in the text, that begin maybe in the numbness that comes after the grief, or the anger or bitterness that can sit when you felt a betrayal or when you've lost something. Or, I would start her someplace else, because what I'm seeing is a tendency to go straight to this sort of like upturned brow. I'm seeing it very consistently. So I might start off going through a few different pieces, prose, poetry, lyrics, and helping her from an emotional perspective navigate different emotional spaces, and helping her connect those to the text, so that whenever she approaches a song, whenever she starts developing a connection to a song, she can play with and find different perspectives on the text, not always coming at it or beginning in that similar area, that similar space that will generate that same sort of grieved and sorrowful, that one didn't want to come out, grieved and sorrowful expression that seems to be becoming a default at the beginning of a song. And then once she's there, she's stuck there, right? Because the song does have grief and sorrow in it. So by helping her find different ways to approach the texts from an emotional perspective, I would hopefully be able to help her discover new avenues through which to journey to the final destination of that grief or that sorrow. And by doing that would hopefully make her performances a little more engaging and feel, for her, not even for the audience, but feel a little more natural as opposed to performative. Anyway, that's just something. I'll throw that in there. If you want to listen to it, that's great. If you don't, who knows? I don't know what you guys are into this for, but if you're interested in the actory type stuff, there's something that I might do with her specifically because of some of the things that I'm seeing in her more recent performances. But having said all that, I've already done the like, comment, subscribe thing. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks once again, David, for jumping the line for this performance. Please remember, as always, to be kind to each other. And most importantly, be kind to yourself.